Hey there, SOC's 2,200 students at the University of Newcastle, and welcome. If you've ever found yourself wondering why our world is the way it is, then you are in exactly the right place. This is your very first explainer, and we're going to break down this week's reading to get you started on your journey into the, honestly, fascinating world of sociological theory. All right, let's just jump right in with a question that I bet you've thought about before, in some way or another. You look at your own family, or maybe families on TV, and you just wonder, what's going on there? You know, what makes them work or not work? And here's the big takeaway from your reading this week. If you've ever even tried to answer a question like that, congratulations, you're already a theorist. Seriously, you don't need a fancy degree for it. We are all basically hardwired to try and make sense of the social world around us every single day. So let's dig into that a little deeper. This idea that theorizing isn't some stuffy academic exercise. It's actually something we all do all the time. Think about it. We're constantly creating these little mini theories to explain what's happening. You might say, my parents get along because they just have similar personalities. Or you're watching your favorite team and you think, they're gonna lose, the teamwork is just awful. Even when you speculate about world events, you're theorizing. It's a natural human instinct. Okay, so if we're all theorists, what's the big deal? What's the secret sauce that makes sociological theory different from just, our everyday hunches? What separates our guesses from the big groundbreaking ideas? Let's take a look. This is basically the upgrade. Sociological theory takes that natural curiosity we all have and just puts it through a really rigorous process. So it's not spontaneous, it's disciplined. It doesn't just rely on our own gut feelings. It stands on the shoulders of giants, building on what others have already figured out. And maybe most importantly, it's not just a private thought. It gets published, it gets criticized, and it aims to explain these huge social patterns, not just what's happening in our own little bubble. Now, that being said, just because it's disciplined doesn't mean it's, cold or impersonal. Not at all. In fact, a lot of the most powerful theories we have started from a place of deep personal passion. Karl Marx is a perfect example. His theories about capitalism weren't just an academic exercise, they were fueled by his outrage over the suffering of workers. That passion is the engine, but the discipline is what steers the car. And this brings us to one of the most fun parts of sociology, I think. When it comes to what you can theorize about, absolutely nothing is off limits. You can go big. You can focus on the largest scales of society, power, politics, the actions of world leaders, the whole shebang. Or you can look at things that seem totally mundane, even a bit weird. The sociologist Norbert Elias actually did this. He studied the history of manners and found a link between people stopping things like, picking their nose at dinner, and these huge shifts in social structure and the power of the king's court. It just goes to show how even the smallest behaviors are connected to massive social forces. How cool is that? So we have a handle on what sociological theory is. But what makes a theory not just good, but great? What makes it a classic that people study for generations? Okay, so here's the official textbook definition. Don't let the formal language scare you. The key thing here is that it's not just one idea, it's a whole set of ideas that work together. Think of it less like a single tool and more like a whole tool kit that helps you organize information, explain what's happening, and maybe even make some educated guesses about where things are headed. The theorists you're going to meet in SOCS 2200, they are basically the rock stars of sociology. And for good reason. Their ideas have lasted. They aren't just one-trick ponies. They apply to all sorts of situations, and they've become the foundation that so many other thinkers have built upon. That's why they're in your textbook. So this leads to a really, really important question. If these theories are the greatest hits, who's the DJ? Who gets to decide what becomes a classic and what gets forgotten? This collection of greatest hits has a name. It's called the Sociological Canon. This is the stuff that pretty much every sociologist is expected to know inside and out. But, and this is a huge but, is this canon just a pure, objective list of the best ideas out there? As your reading makes very clear, the answer is a big, fat no. Creating the canon has been messy, and it's been shaped by real-world politics. So here's the real talk. Getting into the Classics Club wasn't always just about having the best idea. Power mattered a lot. It often came down to who you knew, whether your political ideas fit in with the mainstream, and let's be blunt, for a long time, it really helped if you were a white guy from a certain part of the world. But, and this is so important, that is changing. The canon today is being challenged and expanded in really exciting ways. voices and entire ways of thinking that were once ignored, like feminist theories, queer theories, and critical theories of race, are finally, and rightly, taking their place at the center of the conversation. So, with all of that as our background, let's pull out the map for your journey this semester in SOS 2200. Here's a little preview of the amazing intellectual landscape you're about to explore.
So, first up, the basic timeline. You've got the classical age, which laid the foundation. But the real heart of this course, where you'll be spending most of your time, is the contemporary era, the theories that are helping us understand the world right here, right now.
You're going to start with what we call the grand theories. Think of these as the big, ambitious, bird's-eye view theories that try to explain massive things, like the entire structure of society or the whole sweep of human history.
And then, after looking at that huge picture, you're going to zoom all the way in, to the micro level. This is where you'll get into theories that unpack the fascinating little details of our face-to-face interactions, all the stuff that makes up our daily lives.
And from there, the map just keeps unfolding. You'll dive into critical feminist ideas, theories that tackle race and colonialism, some really mind-bending postmodern stuff, and theories that try to make sense of our crazy, interconnected global world. It is an amazing trip.
So, look, this first chapter, it's not just some required reading. It's an invitation. It's handing you a toolkit and a map. The real adventure starts when you begin to use them. So as you get started in SOCs 2200, keep this one question in your mind. What part of your world needs explaining? Because now, you're on your way to building that explanation yourself.